Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. This is my annual crystal ball look at New Hampshire in the year ahead, 2025, and at the people, the issues, and the events that we'll all be reporting. Us here at Channel 9 and my two guests, who are Mike Cody, who is the editor of the New Hampshire group at Yankee Publishing, and he prints a New Hampshire Business Review. And Matt Mowry, who is the executive editor and the co-publisher of the Granite Media Group, right, Matt?
Yes.
Granite Media Group, and he publishes Business New Hampshire magazine. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Fred.
Let's just have fun here and talk about it, because these are serious issues, but we'll do it informally. Let me just start. The BIA, Business Industry Association, and St. Anselm College put out a summary and a survey of New Hampshire business leaders this fall, and there were two things that popped up out of there. Cybersecurity was their number one concern, but their number one public policy concern was housing. Matt?
That's certainly what we're seeing. The business community is very concerned about their vulnerability when it comes to cybersecurity. They've seen what has happened to large companies. They don't want to have the repeat. They need to keep their customer trust. They need to make sure operations are going to continue, and it's a big threat. And affordable housing and just the availability of housing in general is a huge concern. We do regional roundtables across the state, talking to leaders in various regions about what they're facing in terms of challenges. And the top three consistent are the lack of affordable housing, the lack of childcare, and the lack of workforce.
Yeah, Mike, what's on your agenda for coverage in the news in 2025 in the early part of the year?
Well, one thing we'll be looking for is just the spread of the life sciences industry. It's growing. It certainly has been in New Hampshire a long time.
It is, yeah.
But there's a new trade group called New Hampshire Life Sciences that's trying to get more attention for it. And I went to their kickoff event in Salem a few months back and met some folks from Keene who are trying to get more attention for the work they're doing in the Monadnock area. It's a company, Lehman Labs, I believe, and they work where they basically manufacture some of the machinery that that the pharmaceutical companies will use. And there's a lot of activity there, a lot of hot pockets in the state where this is bubbling up, and it's trying to get it all together.
And Matt, what are you looking at for coverage in the early part of 2025?
Certainly. I mean, we're going to continue looking at those major challenges, but we're going to take a look at there's new challenges on the horizon. We have a new governor. We have a cover story of her in the January issue. She's going to enjoy a lot of Republican control to get things done, but she's also going to be facing challenges her predecessor didn't. They're going into a budget where they're not having surpluses, and they're going to have a real challenge to create a budget that's going to meet the needs of the state without breaking the bank. Yeah,
and of course the opioid epidemic. We are, at least New Hampshire, has had the fewest deaths from drug overdoses and opioid this past year. And that is a real achievement, given the fact that that is such a serious issue in this state. Either one of you.
Well, it's certainly a huge part of what drives homelessness, right? I mean, mental illness, and I mean, there's certainly people on the economic margins, but a lot of the people we see in the cities walking around are people having these challenges. If that's being controlled a little bit more, hopefully we'll see some improvement in homelessness area as well.
And besides the new governor, we have a new legislature starting, and they have some issues in front of them. Housing, as you just mentioned, Matt, is one of them, and they have a special committee now in the House just on housing, and they're going to try to attack that, and the affordable housing in particular. Also, homelessness. Homelessness has risen 50% in this state in the last year or so. What's being done? Are we doing enough?
Obviously, we've got a lot of work ahead of us on this. For a comparison, the report that showed we had a 50% rise, and that's a point-in-time measure. So it's a 24-hour period. They measure homelessness across the country in states. Across the country, the average was 12%. So you can really see how the lack of affordable housing in our state is exacerbated our homeless population. It's a huge problem that we have yet to get a handle on.
And Mike, just briefly, New Hampshire was just ranked 7th, having the best health care among the states. That's pretty good. That's a good note to land on.
It's also a driver of the economy. We have an older population, and they use a lot of healthcare. And despite all the problems, the changes we're seeing in healthcare, we're seeing consolidation, companies coming in and merging. That's going to be a problem for consumers, but from an economic standpoint, it's a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of merging going on. Mike Cody of New Hampshire Business Review and Matt Mowry of Business New Hampshire Magazine, thank you. All too short. A lot more issues, and we'll talk about them in the weeks ahead. If you missed part of this, you can go to WMUR.com, where it will be posted all this week.